Welcome back to the starters, and finally, welcome back to the Bone Zone.
Finally.
Two-time champ, Brent Barry. It's been weeks. How long have you been gone?
It has been a little bit of time.
What were you doing? You're off in Australia?
Yeah,
just
I know.
having a
It's weird because I wore this USA basketball shirt, and I don't know if that's some subliminal, like I'm back in the States.
I think so.
I'm happy to be back. And I had a great time.
So what did you...
Great time, Lee.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone took care of you.
Great people. It was, social media takes on a life of its own when you do things like this. Had some great interaction with some of the people in Sydney.
Right.
Tried to catch up with a couple fans while I was there.
So you went for a music festival?
I did. I went down for the Big Day Out Festival.
Okay.
I had a friend of mine playing at the festival. And one of the weird things was I was in Sydney, Lee. I couldn't find the Sydney Kings pair of game shorts.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking all over the place. Couldn't get the apparel I wanted to bring back.
Really wanted those?
Well, I wanted to bring back a set of 5 in case we ever go play. We could all rep the Kings.
Our team's good now.
So.
Yeah, we had Brent Barry.
Yeah, we're great.
If the Sex Warriors are listening up in Toronto, we'll take you on with Brent Barry.
Just to be clear, that's a basketball team. We're playing basketball. Okay.
Yes.
Just whatever.
They were called the Sex Warriors.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Good name.
Yeah, it's not a bad name. They all wore Warriors jerseys, too. You got to respect them for that. But so you had a blast.
I had a great time down there and enjoyed the festival and got to hook up with a couple of friends while I was there.
Okay.
And what I thought would be kind of cool is while I was at the festival, I wanted to see who it is that Australian fans are repping. It's a big festival. There's a lot of kids. I'm one of the old guys there at the festival, but there was a lot of NBA representation. People wearing jerseys.
Oh, the hoopsters, as they're called.
The hoopsters. So here was an Australian Michael Jordan asking. I guess he's asking if the Bobcats won. Thumbs up.
Right.
I guess they won. And then this guy asked for an autograph. He's walked away from the guy on the left. No autographs at the festival. So MJ, and then we had White Rondo.
Right.
I don't know that being in white, green would look better for that.
Yeah, the white
scheme.
jersey on white skin.
We had who else? We had Blake Griffin, a bit out of shape down under, but BG repping there in the jersey. This guy was confused. He had the Garnett jersey on, but the Bulls hat. So I don't know if you can do that. Chicago, Boston.
That's a classic hoopster. He doesn't care.
Mellow, so New York represented there. No Bargnanis, but some Mellows.
I hope we get some crazy ones. These are pretty.
Well, yeah, these are pretty good. Yeah, there's a couple. We'll get to them. KD down there. I was wondering what his lady was looking like while he was walking around the festival.
Now, were you taking these photos?
Yeah, I was.
Did they notice you taking these photos?
No, I was absolutely photobombing everybody I could. Damian Lillard, which that was a bit of a surprise one. I'm like, okay, somebody's following the league.
Yeah, I like that.
With the up-and-coming players. This was one of the locals. That's not me.
That's your standard attire for a festival.
House, right?
So one of the locals there.
Okay.
Rocker.
Now this was interesting because there's a sweet Penny Hardaway, the old school pinstripe one, and there you can see he's kind of got game tights on.
Yeah.
I used to wear to school in
at
fourth
the
grade.
festival, which was kind of cool. And then this one, I don't know where the tights went. What happened? And look at the girl. She's like, ah!
Yeah,
Tass
Mellis prefers a tucked-in jersey, but I don't know about bicycle shorts.
You can't do that.
That's odd.
Yeah. Here we go. That's a jersey.
I loved it. Kemper was there, and he was buying some Pearl Jam apparel from
That's awesome.
That'd be your favorite
from
one,
the
wouldn't
shop
it, Brent?
there. That was a good one.
Yeah.
D. Wade there taking in, I believe that Major Lazer was coming out. So D. Wade, a big Major Lazer fan.
Bubble butt.
And then checking the map, like, oh, what's next? I got to get to the Arcade Fire show.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't a Major League fan. He was, where am I going next?
Shaq, again, the sweet pinstripe
really
Orlando jersey.
Yeah.
So
That's
You ever
nice.
run into Penny, you know?
no, but here's a great
Hey,
one.
that's Francisco Alberto.
No, it's Fabrizio.
Fabrizio, close enough.
Yeah.
Fabrizio Alberto. So we told this kid on the left, Fabrizio's talking to him, says, oh, Tim Duncan, I played with Tim Duncan. And the guy looked at him, he goes, yeah, right, mate. So didn't believe him that he played with him. That was a cool shot. That's me on the left. This is my buddy Jeff Ament, the bassist for Pearl Jam. And then Fabrizio, Tyler is in the middle. That's the guitar tech for Win Butler on the right, who's Arcade Fire's lead singer, and he's sporting the sweet Pistol Pete throwback.
Yeah, and Win Butler, a huge basketball player. Loves to play basketball, at least.
Yeah.
Loves to play. Jeff loves to play. Tyler's a scrappy little point guard. So really had a great time, and it was great to see some NBA jerseys, hats, and whatnot while we were there.
They should take a game out there, shouldn't they, Brent?
What's that?
They should play a game out there.
He wants the NBA to play a game,
that would be,
a regular season game in Melbourne.
That would be cool. I did have there was a guy with a Rodman jersey there, but since the Korea thing,
Yeah.
Maybe Australia would be a better bet.
I think
a little safer.
If we don't get a game before North Korea, I'll be very disappointed.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. All right, well, a couple of questions here. Thank you so much for that, by the way.
Problem.
Glad you had a good time. On Friday, Commissioner David Stern, last day as a commissioner, 30 years running, and Adam Silver is taking over. We might get to some thoughts, maybe what you think Adam Silver needs to maybe look ahead to address as we move on here and his new reign. But you know, you obviously, Stern was the commissioner for the entire time that you played in the league, all 14 years. Any personal sort of stories?
Well, first of all, I mean, I just thank David Commissioner for all he's done. And certainly during the years that I had played, a lot of the problems with the league that had started back when he had taken over about the fact that games weren't on live and that you saw things on tape delay. We've heard these things over and over. How far he was able to bring the game during his reign as commissioner, and the way he did it, really, you know, iron-fisted, but always with the future in mind. I think he's amazing. I don't think there's any doubt that he's the best commissioner of any professional sport. There's just not a question about that. And I've talked with Commissioner Stern several times. I've had a chance to meet him on odd occasions, and then occasions where playing with San Antonio after winning the championship, Commissioner Stern is always there the following season to congratulate that team, and always comes in with glowing remarks, but always very personable to every player. If you were to see him, he would know exactly who you are if you were a player in the league. And
he wouldn't call Fabrizio Francisco.
He would definitely get that name right. But I'm very appreciative of having the opportunity to have played the game, and certainly under David Stern's watchful eye, the way that he's classed up the NBA to the point right now of where it is, and he's leaving the game in great hands, not only with the talent and the caliber of character that is upholding the league with Kevin Durant and LeBron James and Damian Lillard and Chris Paul and all these great players. Adam Silver is a fantastic person for the job as well, and I think he'll just continue all the good things that have been going on.
And you had sort of, I don't know, an iconic moment with David Stern after one of those
I did.
championship ring ceremonies?
We won't show yet, but in 2005, I was standing on the sidelines next to Tim Duncan, and we were about to be awarded the championship rings from the 2005 season. And I turned to Timmy, I said, Timmy, if I go out and kiss the commissioner, how much will you give me? He goes, $100. Bang. Bang. Now, I will tell you this, two things. One, it felt like kissing my grandma. I told Commissioner Stern that, and he said, I'm okay with that. Yep. And number two is, I heard from a couple of friends who worked at the league office who, in the next 4 or 5 days, called me up and said, that was the best thing we've ever seen. Because they, you know, a little bit of pins and needles while they're in the office, but look at David's reaction. Oh, that just there's nothing he could have done. There's no way he could.
No, because you had the left arm around him. Really,
I was pulling him in. I was pulling him in.
You really had him.
But congratulations
You're the
to
first
David
player
Stern.
ever to kiss him on the cheek?
I hope so. I mean, it's better than Charles kissing Dick Bavetta on the lips. That's for sure.
Is there anything, you know, about Silver now taking over? Is there anything in particular? This could be anything that you think he sort of needs to address.
Skeets, the number one thing that I love that people are discussing is the way that the draft lottery should be adjusted now. The way that, you know, teams talking about tanking this year, which is unfortunate for the league, that teams are going to lose in order to try to win. It's been proven that if you lose and you have the number one pick, you can still screw it up. Teams have been doing that for decades. So fixing the lottery so that the system doesn't weight itself to the worst teams getting the best pick or having the best chance for getting the best collegiate player, I think is the number one thing that Adam Silver is going to take a look at. And the league has done that. They've adjusted things over the years. It's not like they've stayed tried and true to one form of doing this, but I think that with all the chatter going on, the way that Adam Silver would like to keep competitive balance in the NBA, that would be the number one priority for him, or at least I hope is on the top of the list.
At the top of the list? Yeah. Another question we wanted to ask you. We talked about this on yesterday's show. Kyle Korver going to decline on the three-point contest. Wants to be with his young child, 1 year old. We had John Wall very likely going to sit out of the dunk contest. Right. He says, maybe if some of the bigger names go into it. So we got these guys, and this happens every year where some of the stars that you want to see, either the best shooters or the best dunkers, you want to see in these contests, they turn them down. You're a guy that went in both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to take us through how that situation went, but what's your opinion or your feeling on these guys? Is there any obligation as a player to go in these to sort of please the fans?
It's upsetting that that we find out who it is that's asked and who it is that's declined. I think that's something that really should be kept kept in-house.
Okay.
If somebody's asked and they don't want to go, they don't want to go, and nobody knows whether or
Right.
not they decline the offer or not. Because then it makes not only the league look bad, but the player maybe
Yeah.
look bad in some people's eyes. If it's your home fan and you're a Hawks fan,
Yep.
you're like, hey, I'd love to see Kyle shooting threes, and he doesn't go. You start getting disappointed in the player. He's got personal reasons as to why he's not going. Now, I will say this. If you're going to go and you're going to participate, don't you want somebody who's 100% like, I'm all in
Gung-ho,
here.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going in, not, oh, my God, the league, I got to
Sure.
do this. That doesn't promote the type of atmosphere that you want, which is a celebration of the game of basketball. These are all exhibitions, and they should be for fun. And that's what I liked about Dominique and Michael.
Yep.
When they used to do it, that's the attitude they had. Like, I'm going to go there, I'm going to have a ton of fun, and I'm going to put on a show for the fans. And I think some of that's been lost. The way that Neek said it, I think Dominique was talking about guys are worried about their branding, they're worried about
Yeah.
how they're going to look. And there is some of that has gone on, but everything should be kept in-house. And I wouldn't want guys who want to go there and be there for good reason,
Right.
and to go there and put on a great show.
But isn't that part of the problem? Like, guys are just gassed. Like, we talk about it, those 2 days off in the middle of February, it feels like so much longer, and guys...
Yeah, but Tass, don't you understand, like, all the dunk contests, it's always young guys. For the most part, you're always seeing guys in their first through third or fourth
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
that are participating, at least in the dunk contest and in some of the events. It's usually the league finds the young star players to get into most of the contests. Now, I do have a problem.
'Cause
This
it's
is
a
another thing we
showcase.
can discuss later, is that, like, the skills challenge should be adjusted completely. There
Right.
should be a whole nother thing going on with the point guards. But most of the time, it's the younger players that
Yep.
participate, and then obviously Sunday, the big boys take the floor. So for the fans, I hope the guys who go put on a show.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you rectify the situation. People have talked about throwing money at guys. That's not gonna. That's not.
You don't
gonna
think so?
work.
That's not going to
No,
work.
that's not gonna
It
work.
would work for Tyrus Thomas.
Wow. Lee out of
Thomas
nowhere.
callback.
Finally, we do this all the time. At the end of the Bone Zone, ask you to rank something. And yesterday, we're inspired, I guess, by Dennis Scott, who posted an Instagram video of you with the guitar jamming out to the Yacht Rock classic "Summer Breeze" by Seals and Crofts. And I believe we have some footage. And you got to hear the voice of an angel, Vince Cellini, here.
A little light is shining through the window. Let me know everything's alright.
And then, if it's a Dennis Scott Instagram video, he's always has it on him at the
Yeah.
end. So that's his staple.
Wow.
Vince, pretty impressive.
Very good. Obviously, a great song by Seals and Croft. Are we
Yeah.
in infringement of that if we were doing some of
Well,
it's Seals and
we'll
Croft,
find out.
Seals and Croft. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
well-
yes, 3D always gets himself in his videos.
Well, inspired by that, we're asking you today to, I guess, randomly rank
Are we going Yacht Rock?
in order classic
wow.
Yacht Rock groups. So there are your five.
my friend's Work Drugs, who's a Yacht Rock band, would really enjoy
Okay.
this best of five. I'm going to look at my list here. Okay, so, Doobie Brothers Steely Dan is number one. I love Steely Dan.
All right, you
Nothing
just made,
like it.
You just made Kelly Dwyer's
Okay,
day.
Steely Dan number one. Doobie Brothers 2. Ooh, God, Toto's got a couple of good hits.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
do.
falls off the cliff after dude.
All right, Steely Dan, Doobie Brothers, yeah. I'm going to go Seals and Croft 3, Kenny Loggins 4, and Toto 5th. I came from
Fair enough.
Australia, not Africa, so I'm Toto 5th.
All right, big country then we'll throw in there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Bones, good to have you back.
Well, one thing before I
Oh.
go. In Australia, had a great time. Couldn't help but thinking about Lee. That gets me thinking about giraffes and all these sort of things. So
Yep.
this is it. Lee, if you're wondering if I had a great time
Yes.
in Australia, I have this for you.
Okay.
You bet your ass I did. Thanks, Lee.
You rented a giraffe suit, or you packed one.
I'm on Bondi Beach with a giraffe costume for you, Lee Ellis.
I've never seen you look any better than that, Brent.